Namaste. And I want to talk about the growth process, or the transformation. So this is what you're actually already in. What does it mean if we always talk about the growth process? It actually means from feeling stuck in old patterns to be open to the deeper self. So maybe that doesn't say too much to some of the people, so I thought I'm gonna explore that a little bit, especially, what does it mean being stuck? Being stuck is if you're, you grow up when you're a child, you have your parents you look up to, you basically copy. When you see, this is how you learn as a little kid. So you copy your parents. Your parents, they already bring something into the life, and also from their life what they experience. So you come, the older you get, the more you work on your patterns. It's a certain way you behave, you do things, how you say things. So you build up, the older you get, the more you build up the patterns. If you just live a life without awareness. So, and then of course with the patterns there are tensions. In every family, there are tensions. It's not everything just sunshine and happiness. This is humanity is that we go through things in life, so it's nothing to criticize. I'm not going to criticize anybody. I'm not going to criticize my parents for what they have done. Usually you do things what you think is the best, but it creates tensions. It creates expectations. Maybe not even our expectations, but the expectations of the parent, of the partner, even, friends. They expect something from you, and then you go a certain direction. After a while you think, is this really what I wanted to do? Is this what I wanted, or is this what somebody else wanted? And then of course with the expectations, you have your own expectation, you get ideas how things have to be. So we try to control more and more our life, also the outcome, how it should be. If we are aware, we can find that in any of us, that we have these ideas and these expectations. After a while also we form attachments. These can be personal attachments to people, can be to material things. There are so many attachments you form, and all these things, there are many, many other things, but they build up the older we get, and it's like a rucksack we pack. So we fill it up a little bit more, then we say, oh, here's something nice, I need this, put this in the rucksack, maybe I need it sometime. And we build up more and more and more if we are unaware of what we're doing. If we're just living kind of a regular life without paying attention to what we're doing, we're just going with the flow, like everybody else is doing. Things develop and then people say, oh yeah, but this is how, we've done it since years and years, so it must be good. But is it really? Do we really ask ourselves, is this the way we want it? No? So this is kind of, what I understand of being stuck in how we always say it, in the dust of everyday life. Because there is plenty of things we have to do. And there will be more things we have to do. And then we say, oh yeah, when we're finished with that, then I can do that. But then something else is coming up. There is always something. And this is also to just keep us from being aware. We don't really want to listen to the deeper self. We don't want to go inside. We don't want to. We don't really know what to do. We have this practice when we do the rising energy practice, what we're doing here this weekend, and some of you already practiced for quite a while. And there you have some tools to get out of that rut you're stuck in. Because what we don't want to do, we don't want to follow that rut. Because now some of us are, or some of you are still a little bit younger, but then, some of you are already a little bit older, and we collect and we collect and we collect, and it's not getting easier. Because if you do, if you don't do the dishes for a while, what happens? They really get nice and crusty, and you have to really scrub very hard. And some things maybe don't come off at all. So it's getting harder and harder and harder the longer we wait to work on it. So when we open earlier, or it doesn't really matter when we start. It's easier the younger we are, but then we want to go out, we want to really test out and try and build up our identity. And after that we have to get rid of that identity. Not really getting rid, because we are what we are, but to work to find out the deeper self we are. So I said, what does it mean, the growth process is from feeling stuck in patterns and tension to be open to the deeper self, but what does it mean to be open? I think this is also not so easy. We're always talking about, opening the heart, or just be open. What does it actually mean? So the easiest to explain is to really feel more love in your life. And it's not the love for a person, which also can be, that you fall in love with a person, but it's more the deeper love, the love for yourself, and the love for whatever you do. Everything is easier and is much more fun if you love what you're doing. So it's necessary to, whatever you do, if you want to have also a joyful, happy life, then you have to do it with love. And it's so important to first nourish yourself. We talked about that earlier, especially, also for you. I know from many pregnant women I taught yoga that they said, well, everybody is just talking about the child which is growing in me. Nobody's, listening to me anymore. Or that the doctor, he's only, looking how is the child, but totally forgetting about the mother. So it's basically first, you have to take care of yourself, because if you're not well, the child is not well. And it doesn't matter if you're pregnant or not, you have to take care of yourself. How do you want to love if you can't love yourself? And it's also quite challenging. Sometimes I do these exercises when I ask people to think about 5 things in life they really love. And I get many things, but not hardly anybody. Well, actually, I've never had that. Anybody says, I love myself. Because you love everything more on the outside. Of course, you love your children, you love maybe your job, you love maybe this, and it's all is fine. But maybe you can ask yourself, would you have thought of yourself saying, oh yeah, I love myself? Of these 5 things to say. So it is it is important, and this is also, being open. And it's also to be more at ease with what is. and not always to, this could be better. Everything could be better. To accept with sometimes really what is at the moment and to be at ease with what is. It doesn't mean that you should then say, okay, now that's it, I stop here. But to accept what is at the moment. And then you can say, okay, next time I'll do it differently. Also in a situation where you think, I could have maybe reacted a little bit different now. You want to be nicer to your neighbor because you don't have such a good relationship to your neighbor, and then you say, maybe next time I water his plants when I'm watering my plants, and then you don't do it, and I said, I wanted to do that, and then I said, okay, well, next time. And then you try again, and until you get to this point where it also comes from a different state. Because if you do it out of a duty, it's not the same as if it comes from the heart. We always have to be, not really careful, but aware of how we do things. If we do them really from the heart, because we want to do them, and we do some good with that, or if we just do them out, I have to do that. It's a different state we are in.